Hey guys, it's me, Pokemon. I'm back, and today I wanted to do something different for you guys. So I always want to put out a video um, on a holiday. I'm going to be celebrating Easter on Sunday. I know not everyone's going to be celebrating Easter, but no matter what, I think this would usually be a time of year where you'd be with friends or family in this upcoming weekend. And it's probably not going to be happening for a lot of us, this weekend. We're probably going to be more alone than usual on the holidays. And so I really wanted to make sure I put out something on Easter this year because it was a holiday. And I wanted it to be something a little longer, maybe a little something that you could put on in the background, just in case you wanted somebody to talk to or something like that on Easter Day. So this is going to be a Blitz with me for the holiday. So I'm going to auto run through Blitz while I just talk with you guys. Maybe try to talk for like a half an hour or so. Just a little bit of something so that way, everyone can feel a little less alone on Easter Day. So probably the big reason why I'm doing this is, well, there's a Facebook commercial and it was sad. I hate Facebook. But that commercial, they had some person that sounds like Tom Holland giving this really emotional speech about how people should come together. I was thinking about, Marvel Strike Force. I really enjoy getting to communicate with the subscribers, and I'd feel bad, if anyone felt alone on Easter Day. So I figured, we could hang out for about a half an hour, just sort of talk. Well, me talk to you. So I guess first off, I could tell you a little bit about myself. Some people know my name's Isaac. That's public knowledge. I've said that before, but yeah, I usually start something by saying, my name's Pokemon. But if we're gonna have a cool half an hour talk, I guess you should know my name's Isaac. I'm a high school senior, and well, let's just say I pretty much am a graduate now because of coronavirus. My school year's over. I don't really have anything else going on in school now. And I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of a bummer. It sort of sucks. You spend as a kid, you spend most of your life, dreaming about the end of your senior year. You watch movies, TV shows about those kind of things, and you see seniors go through it from like a dozen years or so, and you get excited for it. And it does sort of suck to just sort of be like, well, there is no really end to my senior year anymore. But I think it's important during these kind of things to notice everything that's good. First off, I came back to do Marvel Strike Force videos. I couldn't with high school. Technically I did have time in a day, but it was just like I couldn't. It was just it was too much going on in the day. And now that high school is pretty much over for me, it's much easier to do YouTube videos. I will be going to college next year, and I have absolutely no idea how I'll do YouTube videos in college because I'll probably have a room. It'll be completely different. I'll have the same computer. This will be the same. My mic will be the same, but it won't be my room in the background of the videos. I'll tell you that much. And I don't even know how I do. We'll get there when we get there with college YouTube. But coronavirus gave me a chance to sort of make YouTube videos again, which I do enjoy doing. I really enjoy getting to talk with you guys, getting to sort of hang out with you all. I love that kind of stuff, and it's so cool to get to do that again. And I don't know if I ever would have again if it wasn't for coronavirus. Another thing that was really cool. So in terms of my history of video games, I'm more the kind of person I get really into a game for like 3 years, and I just play it hardcore. Like, what are some? Probably I did play DC Universe Online a good bit, Marvel Heroes a good bit online, but probably a big game I got into for a long time with my dad. We played Smite, just a ton, like literally. Oh my goodness, I played so much Smite. I got so into it. And I've gone back into it now, and Smite probably did change my life. I mean, it was a bit of a buggy mess of a game, but what was really cool is I met a lot of really good friends through Smite. I was really young back then. I was probably like 12, 13, something like that. And you know, the internet's still like a very scary place. You know, you're told as a young kid, oh my goodness, anybody, they could be trying to get your address. Everybody on the internet's out to get you. And of course, it's great to be cautious about stuff on the internet. But there was sort of like a fear of like video chatting or calling people online that you met online, because you're like, oh my gosh, they probably just want to talk to me because I'm 12. And it was very interesting because I met a lot of very nice people in Smite. That were longtime friends. You know, there's probably about a half a dozen or so people on there that I met just randomly in a match, and I'd play games with them pretty much every night. You know, summer nights, every night I'd get on and play games with them for 5 or 6 hours. We'd voice call. You know, we knew each other's names. You know, we know where each other live. You know, we played for so long. You know, we got to know each other. You know, we'd add each other on social media. Like we became really close friends. And it was really cool because, you know, when you think about something like that, I mean, what are the chances that you meet those people? You know, I only met those people because I played a random online match of Smite, and there were these people there that I just thought were super cool, and I wanted to play more games of Smite with them. And like what are the chances that I met them? But anyways, it's so cool. And so we were good friends. You know, we played games a ton together. But then sort of, I'd say probably about a year or so ago, I just sort of stopped playing games. I'd say it was last summer I'd really stopped playing games with them, because I had a part-time job last summer. Another big reason why I quit YouTube. But I'd get home, you know, sometimes late from my part-time job. I really didn't feel like video calling anyone or voice calling with anyone. I really just wanted to, you know, put on some music. What did I even play then? I played, I don't even know what I played at night. But I just wanted to put on some music and, you know, play some games before I went to bed. I didn't really care to socialize. So we sort of fell off a little bit. And that was always sort of something in the back of my head where I was like, you know, I do want to catch up with those people again after I spent so much time with them. And then, well, then this came around, coronavirus, and now, you know, I can't really hang out with a lot of my real life friends. And I only really play video games with like 1 or 2 of them, of real life friends. And I was like, and I saw that there's a Discord server that I was in with these old friends from Smite, and I saw they were still playing together, and I just hopped in the other day and I started playing with them again. And but now I've been playing with them, you know, most nights. I've been back playing Smite, and it's just like the old days. And I'm really enjoying that. And I think that's something really great that came out of this. You know, I don't know if I ever would have reconnected with those people if it wasn't for, you know, this time right now. I think that's something very interesting about this, is the whole, I think our perspective of the world has changed a lot. I know a lot of my friends, you know, you hate school, like when you're in it. Like, I know high school, you're in it, you're like, I know there's some magical moments here, I'm gonna look back on this, it's gonna be great, I'm gonna miss it. And you know that, like, there's some social events where you're gonna like, man, I wish I could do that one more time. But let me tell you, when it's like second period, no, when did I have math class? I had it, no, second period. You know, when it's second period on like a Tuesday and it's like 7 in the morning and you're learning a brand new like calc concept, like you're not like, man, I just love school at this moment. Like when you're in school, you're like, man, I'm not feeling this. But I think this has given a new perspective on a lot. I think a lot of my friends right now, you know, before coronavirus came specifically to our area, we were like, yes, we're gonna get some school cancellations, you know, maybe like 2 weeks. This will be great. Oh my goodness. But like, come on, bring it over. Come on, let's get some cases in our states. That way school can get canceled. And then school kind of got canceled for the rest of the year. And but I think it's changed a lot of people's perspective on a lot of things in the world. I think a lot of people have sort of view a lot of daily things different. Like, I think there's a ton of people right now that really want to go back to school. Like, I would love to go back to school right now. Especially as a senior, like, there's nothing I want more than to go to school, for one more week. And I think that most of my friends, it's so weird how our perspectives on school changed in like 2 months, you know? Like, I think all of us were taking a lot of things for granted. You know, they're saying, like, I'd like to go into a restaurant right now and just sit down, and I'd like there to be a table of some random people I don't even know right there. Like, that's how, like, that, like, it's so weird, everything that we just took for granted. And there's like so many things that we'll get to do again sometime that's just like, wow. Like, I didn't even know that was something I needed in my life, random people at restaurants and stuff like that. But I think that's what's really cool about this. I think we're given a chance to see, you know, to appreciate a lot of things that we didn't even know, you know, we should appreciate or could appreciate. I think that's really unique about this situation. I mean, we're going through, you know, what is probably like a once in a century, hopefully only a once in a century, you know, kind of thing. And I think we're lucky to get this sort of unique perspective on life, especially for me at a young age. I'm 18, so I get to, you know, see this kind of stuff at 18. I mean, it's really interesting how it sort of changes everything. But what else would be interesting for me to talk about during this? I think everyone likes hearing about high school, so I'll talk a little bit about my high school career. So in high school, I ran cross country and track. I was not good at either of them, although that was honestly probably partially on me. I liked them, very nice people. I always enjoyed doing both of those sports, but I really wasn't passionate about it, you know? Like, I never went home and I was like, I'm gonna run 4 miles just to practice, you know, just so I can stay in shape. Like, over the summer, I'd maybe run like a mile or 2 every day or something like that. And for cross country, that's not good at all. That's very low level running. So I did that. And I did kind of a resident cool guy in the Marvel Strike Force community. I did letter my senior year in cross country. For 4 years of participation, you get a letter. So that's kind of cool. Probably one of the other things that I got really deep into, the whole reason why I'm telling you about this is student council. I got invested in student leadership in high school, let me tell you. And so I wanted to create, okay, here's the big idea. I wanted to create a Sadie Hawkins dance for my school, because I could not get a girlfriend at all throughout all of high school. I really, it was not working out for me no matter what. And I was like, man, if only we had a Sadie Hawkins dance, so that way maybe a girl could ask me out to a dance, and then maybe there's like somebody I didn't know that liked me. But I was like, man, we don't have a Sadie Hawkins dance. So I was like, what if I made a Sadie Hawkins dance? So that was the idea I had pretty early on in high school. And so I started out small. My freshman year, I created a chess tournament for my high school. And there was 2 days I did for this. It was a 2-prong attack to creating a chess tournament. I knew a lot of people didn't know how to play chess. I'd only participated in one chess tournament before in my life. It was at my local library. I won one, lost one, tied one. But I knew a lot of people didn't know how to play chess. So I was like, all right, I'll tackle that problem. We'll have a day where it'll be a learning day. I asked one of the science teachers if I could use his room after school, and I asked this other math teacher who had a bunch of chess stuff if I could borrow all his chess stuff. And I set up there after school one day, and anyone could come down and I'd teach them chess. And nobody came down. Literally nobody. I had track practice that day, and I told my coach, I was like, hey, I'm not going to be at track practice today because I'm having this little chess education day for my chess event. But sorry about that, but I'll be there tomorrow. And I did the chess teaching day, and nobody came down at all for it. Like, literally, the room was empty. It was just me in this big science class with nobody else there. So I had to clean up everything and walk down shamefully to track practice. And whenever everyone asked me why I was there, I had to tell them because nobody came for the chess learning day. But anyways, so then we had the chess tournament a little later on, and then went a little better. We had 7 other kids participate in it, which I go to. Let me. What size is my school? It's a bigger school. It's not. I don't go to some small school. So 8 kids going to the event is not that great. You know, give like homecoming. You know, there's about 600, 800 kids who go to that. But so I did the chess tournament, and we had 7 other people participate, and then I participated. So we had a good bracket, so that was nice. We had an excellent bracket for the tournament. And then I had one of my friends. I had him 3D print a trophy for the chess tournament for the winner. And then, funnily enough, that friend ended up winning the tournament, so he took home his own 3D printed trophy. But I really did enjoy that chess tournament when we did that. I thought that was a really cool day, because it was in the middle of winter when we did it, and it was just like a very like, you're like, this is nice. Like, it was after school. It was like snowing outside. There was like 7 other super nice, I mean, no mean people play chess, and it's 7 other super nice kids down there with me, and we're just casually playing chess while we're chit-chatting in a room. I think there's some 80s music playing in the background or something. It was a nice day, but anyways, that was my first sort of event I ran in high school. So then my sophomore year, I was like, this is the year we're gonna make this Sadie Hawkins dance. And I did all kinds of crazy stuff to run a high school dance. There's a lot of stuff that goes into a high school dance that you probably wouldn't think about. Like I had to email all these DJs to reserve stuff. I had to buy decorations. What food are we gonna give out? We just did it in the high school gym, but I had to figure out what DJ we're gonna use. What snacks are we gonna want? And I knew what snacks we wanted. I made sure we had Skittles and stuff. The snacks were pretty good at City Hawkins, but do we want a photo booth? How many people do we let come? Do we let kids who are past graduates under 21 come? Do we let kids from other schools come? What's the dress code for this kind of dance? Is this a casual or like a formal dance? So all kinds of things like that I figured out my sophomore year. And the Sadie Hawkins dance finally comes around, and we're selling tickets. And let me tell you, we did not sell a lot of tickets at all. My sophomore year, I think we sold a little over 100 tickets. And there's a lot of reasons why that probably happened. We didn't get a lot of support from the student council that I was in, that I created this event through. It was one of those things where I'd come up with the idea. I was like, I'd present them, but guys, what if we did a Sadie Hawkins dance? And everyone there was like, yes. They're like, this is incredible. I love that idea. And then when the dance came around, I was like, are you coming? And they're like, I don't know. So that was the first problem. Like, we didn't even have support from our own organization, which didn't look good for the dance. When they're like, hey, are any of your own people going to the dance? And I was like, well, I am. So that was probably where the first problem arose. But we sold a little over 100, which again isn't that good, because like I said, for homecoming we sell 600, 800 tickets. And 100 tickets, we were selling them cheap. That was my big plan with Sadie Hawkins: make it extremely accessible, cheap, casual dance. I know where the problem came in with the dance. I'll get there later. I do know why we didn't sell a lot of tickets, but I'll get there a little later. But so we decided we'd hold the dance with 100 tickets. We were selling them at $5 a piece. We just barely paid off the DJ. The student council ate the loss on the rest of the dance, and we were willing to go through with it because we assumed it would succeed. We needed to start somewhere, and we built off of it for my junior year. We'll talk about the junior year Sadie Hawkins another time. But so we did hold the dance, even though there weren't that many people there. But honestly, even though the dance was a social and economic failure for the high school, that dance meant a lot to me. It was really the people that did go to the dance, again, weren't that many people, but pretty much everyone who went went there for me. Like, they were like friends that I'd ask, like, please come to my Sadie Hawkins dance. And it was so nice to see those people there that came to the dance to support me. It was really humbling, even though the dance was humbling as a whole because it was a failure and I was associated with it. But it was also humbling to have my friends sort of come out to the dance for me. And let me tell you, there was a Sadie Hawkins page. My dance did make it into the yearbook. It got its own page. It's pretty sad in the yearbook. Our gym, there's little stands like where people sit for basketball games and stuff that you can pull out or push in. with the janitors pulled out the stands for the dance. That way it would look like there were more people there, because if we have our big empty gym with only 100 people, it'd look really empty. But if we pull out the stands and make the gym smaller, maybe it'll look like there are more people there. Even with the stands pulled out, it's still, that dance, it did not look like there were a lot of people there. If you look at the pictures, there were maybe like 6 couples dancing on the dance floor. But let me tell you, this is where the big problem came from the Sadie Hawkins dance. We wanted it to be a fun, casual dance, but I think we took it too far. We had everyone came dressed in costumes, like you theme your costumes. Like we had 2 people that came as like safari explorers. We had like a Shaggy and Velma. Of course, there was like a no, never mind. That was a Halloween party I went to. I was about to list that costume. But there was all kinds of, some people went as like a bunch of fruits and stuff like that. So the people that did do it, really enjoyed the costume thing. But that definitely scared away, I'd say, a good amount of the students in the school. I don't think a lot of people were excited at the aspect of dressing up in a costume for a dance. So just as a lesson, if you ever run a Sadie Hawkins dance, don't do costumes. Those don't do well. But we did run the dance, and so again, I talked about how it was very nice. Like, I enjoyed it. I had a lot of good friends, help me out with that. And that's where you really, in those kind of situations, I'm sure if you're an adult, you realize these kind of things already. But if you're younger, though, the people that come out for those kind of things for you, when you're like, please, like, I need you to do this for me, the people who come to those kind of things and support you, those are your real friends in those kind of, throughout life. So I think that's an important thing to realize, and it was very nice to see, those kind of people come out to support me, and I still don't forget. I remember all the people that came to the Sadie Hawkins dance. I'm still very appreciative to them. But I guess you're probably wondering, Isaac, you created this dance to try and get a girlfriend. Did you get a girlfriend from this dance? Long answer, no. Short answer, also no. I did go with a girl. She was a friend of mine, but it was kind of funny. She had her own little. She's a part of a club that had their own dance coming up, and she was like, "Listen, Isaac," she was like, "I need a date for my dance that's coming up," and because she was like a leader in her club that had a dance, and she's like, "And you need a dance for your Sadie Hawkins dance coming up, so I'll go to your dance if you go to my dance." So that was it. I did not get a girlfriend out of it, but I did get an extra dance that year. So usually as a sophomore, you'd only get to go to homecoming and a snowball dance at my school, but I actually got to go to 4 dances that year. So that was pretty awesome. And I had a lot of fun at both of the dances, but I did not get anywhere closer to getting a girlfriend through the Sadie Hawkins dance. But I still, it's a good story that I pretty much always ice break with. Anytime I need to talk to somebody and I don't know, I'll be like, "Did you know I ran a failing dance in my high school my sophomore year?" Again, we'll talk about it junior year Sadie Hawkins sometime. But I always enjoy talking about it because I think it's an interesting story. Not many people can say they created a high school dance. I think most people just follow the traditional ones that are there at their high school when they get there, and they go to those dances. Homecoming, prom. A winter dance usually. People really just go to those 3 dances every year, and that's about it. So it was really interesting, the process of starting a dance from scratch, having something that you invested a lot of time in and you've been telling all your friends about fail. That's also a really interesting thing. And I enjoy talking about it because I think it was just really cool. Maybe one day I can show you some pictures of the Sadie Hawkins dance or something like that, because you really don't understand how sad it looked until you see some pictures of it. It really looking at some pictures of the Sadie Hawkins dance, I mean, we decorated well in the student council. Let me tell you, it looked good. How we decorated the cafeteria and the gymnasium. Oh my goodness, it was well decorated, and the snacks were good too. I talked about that earlier. I nailed it with the snacks on that dance. But there were not that many people there. But it was a really interesting learning experience. Another thing I really appreciate about that is there's officers in the student council, and at that time I was not an officer in the student council. And one thing I really appreciated is the officers there, you know, there's probably two ways you could have treated that as a upperclassman when a sophomore's creating a failing dance. You know, you could probably, you know, kind of step back from it. You could probably be like, I do not want to be associated with that failing dance right there. Or you could do what they did, and they really just, instead of stepping back from the dance and sort of leaving me to drown with it, you know, they worked even harder. You know, they pushed the dance hard themselves. And I think every officer went to the Sadie Hawkins dance, and I think they went there with somebody else. And let me tell you, they really, I mean, they did it for me, like just to support me. I don't think they really enjoyed it that much. But I really appreciate the officers that year too. You know, it was really humbling to see, you know, upperclassmen like that sort of stick their neck out for you. You know, even though it was very obvious the dance was failing, you know, they just worked harder to try to get the dance to not fail instead of letting it fail. So I was always very appreciative of all that. So I think that's a very good story, good moral lessons there about you know, learning who has your back in life, and you know who some of your best friends are, and those kind of things. And something I'll be telling people about for many years until I'm very old. I'll be telling people about the Sadie Hawkins dance until I just forget about it one day that I ever did a Sadie Hawkins dance. That was sort of my thing in high school. That was what I was known as the guy that tried to run the Sadie Hawkins dance twice. But honestly, I still think there's places in the world for another Sadie Hawkins dance. I still think it's a really cool idea. I just think really, if you're gonna run it, you can't do costumes. People do not like costumes for the Sadie Hawkins dance. So just a little piece of advice: don't do the costumes. But that was it. High school was pretty cool, and it's one of those things now where, of course, you know, you expect as a senior you're gonna sort of get the chance to have your last week or two where it really sinks in, like, you know, like you're sitting at school and you're like, oh man, like this is it, like I'm never gonna be here again, you know, like this is the last time I'm gonna be in math class. And I sort of get that feeling, except when I'm at home and I don't get to go back to high school ever again. And that's sort of interesting. So, like, I cherish the memories from my you know, earlier high school years a little more now, because those are it. Like I don't get to see some of those end of senior year memories. And it's sort of cool to look back on high school and see all the things you did. You know, I'm sort of looking back on it now without ever having like the last day of school. Like it's sort of like, that's just what's so interesting about my position. Sort of still, I technically have online school still, but I'm looking back on high school now, and I sort of having that moment where I'm like, oh wow, like high school's over, but I'm having that moment without actually getting to be in high school to have it. So I do look back very fondly on those years when I did work very hard in the student council to create a bunch of events, and you know, I'm proud I did do that. I wouldn't change how I did. Let me think about high school. Would I have changed anything from how I did it if I were to go and do high school all over again? Honestly, I don't think I would. I think I would still let Sadie Hawkins fail again if I were to go back in time and do high school again, because I think it's a bit of some character development there, having Sadie Hawkins fail. And I forgot, we're playing Marvel Strike Force, so we'll let this last battle auto out, and I'll talk sort of through the end of this. But if you're in high school still, I hope you can enjoy it. You know, your year's probably over. It's probably canceled because of coronavirus. But I hope next year, you know, you can go back with a newfound appreciation for day-to-day life, and you know, you can sort of enjoy every day. Because even though people say sometimes it could be your last year, you're like, no. But in my case, one random day was my last of high school. And you know, if you're not in high school anymore, I don't know what you could take away from all of it. You could you know, just enjoy the day, you know, enjoy the little things in the day. I think that's a big difference, you know, from when I was in high school, from the days I did enjoy and the days I didn't enjoy. The days I probably enjoyed the most were the days where I was really looking hard for the little things to enjoy. And you know, the days where you just enjoyed the fact that somebody waved to you in the hallway, or something funny the math teacher said today, or, you know, oh good, I don't have any homework in that class. You know, I think if you go day by day and you sort of enjoy those little things, I think you can. I think every day is just a lot better. I think it's easier. Well, it's harder to change your mindset to focus on those little things, but I think when you do, I think each day gets a little easier because, you know, I mean, days feel a little less painful if you're just only thinking about the good things that happen during that day. Speaking of good things that are happening during the day, I am winning this fight right now, and I do enjoy Venom in Marvel Strike Force. Let me tell you, he is. I love the fact that you can spread negative status effects to the whole team. But I'm looking forward to get Symbiote Spider-Man so I can have the real team right here, and then I'll have Mysterio soon, and then I can build the real Sinister Six team as opposed to this halvesies team, this nasty mix of a team here. Look at this. But this is the classic Spider-Verse team right here. But as you can see, I'm running the game in Nox currently, and it's a little laggy. I would run it in BlueStacks. It does run much better in BlueStacks. But the problem is, then my computer, like, it doesn't lag, but when I record with OBS, it actually does lag a little bit. So I can't play BlueStacks while I record because I'll clip if I play BlueStacks while I record. So we got to work with some slightly laggier gameplay, so my audio quality isn't horrible, because I value audio quality highly, and I hate it when my voice sort of tops out like that. So that's why we don't play on BlueStacks. But I really did enjoy sort of getting to talk to you guys a little bit about my high school life. Everyone has a ton of high school stories, but I have a ton of, fun things to talk about from high school. And that was probably the first time I've ever talked about something in high school. I mean, this is a big, looking back on high school, being like, oh yeah, I was in high school and I did this. I think that's really, every time I've told that story before, it's been like, oh yeah, I'm in high school. I did this 2 years ago. That's the first time I've ever talked about something in high school, and it's like, oh yeah, when I was in high school, that's what I did. So that was really interesting, and I have a ton more, fun stories. I did fail at quite a few more things in high school that I think are fun to talk about, and I think there's some good lessons to be had from them. And I hope my ramblings for 32 minutes can sort of help to fill your day a little bit. I hope everyone's staying happy and healthy during these times. I think the best thing you can do is call someone. I've been calling my grandmothers. I've been alternating, calling one every other day. I think that's a really important thing to do. I think you can feel like you're alone during these times, but you're really not. I'm here. I'm playing Marvel Strike Force every day for you guys. A lot of us have family that loves talking to us, especially people you haven't seen for a while. Literally, grandmas love talking to kids, especially people my age. They live for getting calls from us. But if you don't have any family you can call, friends. I know a lot of friends are missing each other right now. I'm sure they'd always enjoy a call from anyone. And if you don't have friends or family to call, feel free to message me on Discord or something. I'd love to talk to any of you guys. I love when anyone messages me on Discord, because I don't get many messages on Discord, so I always respond to them. Now, if you are watching this video 10 years in the future and my YouTube career has skyrocketed and I have tens of millions of fans, I may not be able to respond to my Discord messages anymore, but as of now, where I get about 100 views on each video, I am very capable of responding to everyone, and I love getting messages from people. So if you ever need somebody to talk to, make sure you find someone, and there always is someone to find, and I am one of those people. So I hope everyone has a happy holidays, and I guess for me I'll see you guys on Monday when you're watching this video. So it's going to be a couple of days for me from when I'm recording this video to when I'm going to the next video would come out chronologically. But from when you're watching this video, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And I haven't figured out when I'm going to do that live stream. I might have done it already on Saturday, or I might be doing it tomorrow on Monday, because again, I need to figure out how to live stream. So I'm going to be messing with that over the coming days. So at the end of the day, guys, what do I really know? I am only an 18-year-old. Have a nice day, guys.